Never have any soda on me. Ignore all the soda around me. We're gonna be talking about dispatch today. I for people who just wanna get like a rating of the game and don't really care too much about it, 8 out of 10. If you like the sound of 8 out of 10 and you want to buy it for its price tag, I think it's like £25. You know, I recommend it. I won't recommend it if you're looking for a game, because it's more of a story. So it's a Telltale's like game, which means the people who buy it now, because it's Thursday, the people who buy it now, you're gonna have the game. But the people who bought it when it came out didn't have the game, they had episodes. So if you buy the game and look at how the game is formatted, you'll see that the game is set out as originally 2 episodes every Wednesday, not Friday, because I'm a loser. Also, does this look blue? Which is black. Not like me. I was going to say like me, but I'm Asian. So episodes came out every Wednesday, for the past, I think, like month. 8 episodes, 2 episodes a week. What's that? Month and a week? Or math is hard, yo. Yo, where did that come from? Edward Kenway. So, I quite like the game. Do I want to call it a game? Because it's more of a story. I like the story. The story is great. I thought that I'm actually glad that I recorded this today and not the day that I finished the game, because I had some opinions on the game when I played it that don't really support what I think now. So, here's the thing. The game. Okay, so to start off with, the gameplay is like there's two sides to the gameplay. There's the dispatch side of the game, which is you sit in front of like a 1970s computer screen, and you literally dispatch superheroes to emergencies like the police and real life dispatch, which is really good in my opinion. The fact that they like put like a real life job in a video game and made it so much fun. Like when I missed I didn't play the first 2 or 3 episodes when they came out. I watched Charlie White play it. More on Charlie White later, because he plays Sonar in the game. What was I talking about? Edward Kenway. So there's the dispatch side of it, where you like dispatch the superheroes to whatever like situation it is. Let's say there's more than 2 superheroes in the game, but I'm just using 2 superheroes now. There is Gollum, which is basically a massive, like 8 foot, 9 foot tall clay golem with like things, is like a construct kind of thing. And then there's Sonar. If there's like a dispatch call and it's like there's a cat in a tree, would you rather get the guy that can fly to get up the tree, or would you rather have the big strong golem guy? That's basically the gameplay, but with several other characters and hugely various missions, dispatch calls. Yeah. And then there's the story side. And I'm not saying the dispatch part doesn't have story elements. It does, but it's not very connective, if that makes sense. They're like, because you're on a dispatch call, all of the superheroes can hear you, and they can hear each other, and they can have conversations with each other. So you can hear like the bonds between like the superheroes and you, and maybe there's an argument, maybe there's not. Maybe at one of the dispatch calls, a problem goes on. Maybe you needed the perfect superhero, or a superhero that can just get about to get a job done, which is pretty cool. Why am I doing this? I'm Italian now. And then there's the like actual. I think I said this before, but there's the story side, where it's outside of the job. That's a really good way of like talking about it. If you're looking over that, I'm looking at myself because I'm very handsome. If you haven't noticed, I'm very good looking. So there's the on-job side of the game and there's the off-job side of the game. On the job, you are. It's off the job. It's very Telltale-like, and it very much is like Telltale-like because at the top of the screen you'll see Invisigo or like Gollum will remember this once you like pick a dialogue option. And my original opinion of the game before like I started watching a bunch of stuff was the game sucks because like it doesn't matter which one I pick, like I'm not going to lose. But I don't think that's what the game wants. I don't think like in any Telltale, like the Walking Dead Telltale games, that if you like pick a dialogue option, you die. Like you're never going to die in any like. There's no like canon events when you die in like any Telltale game, so I do like that. But the real problem I had with the game, is that the options I picked seemed to be like the canon options, because the options I picked and the cutscenes that were towards it, and it just made perfect sense. Like one of the superheroes was working for the bad guy, and then the girl, okay, I don't want to say, okay, I might have just spoiled it now. So, if you're gonna watch the review, you're gonna have to just get spoilers. So, Invisigirl, who's part of the group, the superhero group, was originally working for the bad guy of the game. So then, once I found that out, like in my playthrough, I was of course like, yeah, I picked the right option. I didn't know she was a bad guy, but there's like very sensible, attractive woman, and there is I don't want to say immature, because she is her own person and she can. There's nothing there. It's just very shiny. It looks like Batman. Holy fuck, am I Batman? Anyway. Well, I mean, I'm in a suit. I might actually be Batman. And then there's... Oh my god, I'm so ADHD and autistic. This is very funny. And then there's Blonde Blazer, who's a mature adult. I'm going to say adult, because though both of them are adults, I just didn't feel like Invisigirl was very adult. She's obviously of age. We know she's of age because she gets her tits out a lot. I think it's not a lot, but there's at least like one or two scenes where her tits are out. And one of the scenes where her tits are out is actually quite important. So I'm not going to say that it's like hypersexualized, but it's like, come on. You can also put a censor bar, which Boobs. Who doesn't like boobs? Except gay men. Do you like boobs? I don't know. Boobs. I'm gonna get a comment. I'm gonna get age restricted for saying, but for women. So like the hyper. I'm gonna say the hypersexualized, because even though she like, even if she do, like, you wouldn't say like there's a lot of nudity in the game. It's very heavily. Am I just going? Yeah, it's very heavily implied, and it's very explicit. The language, and it's just like punching you in the face of like how like sexual she is, and it's in my kind of like, in my opinion, I don't really like that. I would also say that her. So one of her abilities. So I said earlier that her ability, like each character has an ability, one or two abilities. Well, they have one ability that you can also like teach them how to be better superheroes during the dispatch parts. So though they have the one ability, they can get up to 3. And her Invisigirl's first ability is that she works better alone and she travels faster alone. I think this is very like the game when you like watch the cinematic bits of the game, you can very much tell that this is very true to her character. But I will also say it's very annoying. And so because of this, because of the fact she likes to do stuff alone, some of the dialogue options that you have are not really your own. There's several incidents where you go, I want this to happen, so I'm going to pick this dialogue to happen for this to happen. And then another character goes, nah, we're not doing that. Which is very true to life. Because, like, you wouldn't have, like me right now, if I go to, like, my friend and go, we're doing this today, now. They're going to say, no. But I also feel like there are many incidents in the game where you are just, like, extraordinarily heavily favoured. And I also think that it's just not fair. Because okay, so here's another thing. This is a very controversial part to this video. I want a canon event where my character dies. I think that's really sick. As someone who loves role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, I crave the ability to die in games. Like, if you go, like, into, like, a cave in Skyrim, there's, like, a chance you're going to die if you're, like, a low level. If you're a high enough level, who cares? And it feels like that Robert Robertson II, who's Mecha Man in the game, the main character, is, like, begins the story as, like, a level 20 barbarian. Like, I don't know much about this character from the beginning. Actually, how much do we know about this character? That's actually a really interesting part. The only like notable part I can tell about the game is that his dad's dead, and that his so your superhero called Mecha Man. Mecha Man is just a regular person. He doesn't have any superhero powers at all. No, none of it. No extra strength, nothing. Just me. But his granddad built a suit called Mecha Man. Or, no, I'm not sure what it was called, because there were many versions of the suits. So his granddad built a suit. Then his granddad died in the suit. Then his granddad's son, his main character's dad, did a bunch of stupid superhero stuff throughout his lifespan, then died in the suit. Then Mecha Man, your main character, doesn't die in the suit. So I'm not sure about how much stuff about the character we know, other than his like family line is like died in the suits. Love to be like corrected about that, but I truly have no idea. Also, Mama, it feels like I'm holding a microphone. I can't sing, and I'm not going to. Baby locked up. No, I'm joking. So that's all I can really say about the story without like talking about the entire story. I will say though, the cast, holy crap. I don't know most of them, but you have Charlie White, Moist Critical, you have Sean McLaughlin, Jacksepticeye, you have like Reveiw from Critical Role, you have Travis Willingham from Critical Role. I think like at the beginning of the game, when like the credits are rolling up at like the beginning, I'm not sure what they're called, because credits are at the end. I'm not sure what it is at the beginning. Credits? No, they're not credits, because that's at the end. But like I think it's it's not produced by, it's in collaboration with like Critical Role, because there's like I think there's like 5 Critical Role members in the game, and then there's also a bunch of YouTubers. Aaron Paul from the notable Paul Aarons or Breaking Bad, Jesse from Breaking Bad, is the main character in the game, which is absolutely great. But here's the thing, you don't recognize it's him. You do if you like know a ton about him, because you'll obviously recognize his voice. But I think the casting is absolutely perfect. Like, I can't think of a single character swap I'll have for the characters and the people who voice their characters, which is actually bloody incredible considering. Yeah, sorry for the lack of visuals. My audio and visual broke, so congratulations on me for not blowing and crippling your eardrums. Considering that the voice actor for Blonde Blazer, I believe, was originally going to be the voice actor for Invisigirl or Invisibitch. Oh, swear words. So I think every director does this, and if they don't, you're just dumb. But unless you're like some like big Hollywood actor where you're like, we want this person specifically, and we don't get this person, the game's just not going to be made, or movie's just not going to be made. But I really appreciate a director or a producer that can go, we paid you and we wrote like these lines for you to read as this character, but as you're reading them and as you're expressing as this character, we actually believe you to be this character instead. We believe you to be a better fit for this character. So here are the lines and dialogue, and this is what this character looks like. This is who you're gonna be playing now. I really like that. There was like an extra like 3 minutes of the video, but you know, I blew up, so I'm not entirely sure what I said and I had planned. But I do apologize for that. This was going to be like my big like things, like just go in a suit, like wear costume or whatever. I know it's even standing up. I'm currently sit down right now, and I can't be able to turn on my camera because I set up my entire room today. I was like, no, but I like this game. This game is actually quite fun. So this is what I was gonna say. And this might be in the video or not, but if it's in the video already, then you can just skip this, because I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then if it's in the same video, you can just leave. Depending on which romance option you pick, you can either be. Sorry, burped. You can either be in a relationship with Invisigirl or Izzy, or is he? No, it's not. It's Courtney. Invisigirl's real name is Courtney. You can be in a relationship with Courtney, or you can be in a relationship with Mandy, who's blonde blazer. So, depending on which romance option you pick, I believe this is how it works. You can either be gay. No, I'm joking. You can. The story ends either. That's it. The story ends, or the story ends on a cliffhanger. And what I mean specifically with cliffhanger is that it doesn't go dun dun to be continued. It goes, what's going to happen with this person? Who knows? This thing might happen, or this thing might happen. We just don't know what's going to happen to this person. So that's why I'm saying it leads on to a cliffhanger. But with the other option, it kind of like, which I haven't played, but I've watched videos on like the other option, which I can pretty much say it concretely, in my opinion, it's very concrete in its ending. I don't see like any progression from there, but I do appreciate two endings. But my problem with a second game, if there ever were to be a second game, it pretty much means that people's playthroughs of another character may be mute. It may just not be a thing anymore. Like, hey, we love that you picked this character, and we love that you're very much attached to this like storyline, but it's not the correct one in a way. So too bad. This is maybe because it's a multiple option kind of game. Maybe they can do something that obviously I'm not smart enough to come up with something like this. But I would love nothing more than to follow the journey of the characters we have. And unfortunately, I am like one mission away from the end on a playthrough I didn't originally do. So I will, if the second game comes out, I will have to replay a game for a fourth time. So yeah, but I'm not gonna shy away from that. That's pretty sick. But this has been Simon Parker. I will see you guys in the next video whenever that comes out. Keep up.